As I say, much of what I impart in a program like this is based on my own experience, personal experience, and the fact that most of my practice concentrates on helping these families negotiate their way after the fact, and these are the issues that typically come up. What I do think is that at some point in the future, one of us may be called on to answer to the fact that we did not inform a family about some of these issues. Is there anybody here from the structured settlement industry? Structure people? Okay, all attorneys. I don't know if any of you ever heard of the Grillo case. Anybody ever hear of Grillo, G-R-I-L-L-O? It's a Texas case, unreported, but the structured settlement industry uses it really as a means of encouraging counsel to consider structured settlements when they decide how their clients are going to take a recovery. And the Grillo case, in short order, is simply a family, an individual is disabled, there is a lawsuit and a recovery of $2.5 million. In counseling the family on how to take their recovery, they didn't talk about structure and money management, they didn't talk about government benefits. Family takes the money, fast forward 5 years, money is gone, they sue the attorney, and they sue the guardian ad litem. The initial recovery is $2.5 million. They ended up getting $4.1 million from the liability insurers for the guardian ad litem and the plaintiff's counsel for failure to advise. There are smatterings of cases that follow the Grillo model all over the country. I don't think, again, this is just my perspective, I do not think that liability has caught up to the risk in this area. But one thing I have observed is that in many cases clients are not necessarily grateful, which means that you can get a good litigation result for them, but if you fast forward 10 years and they feel as if they should still have some of that money, and they don't, notwithstanding the fact you had nothing to do with it, if they can figure out a way for you to get them some more, even if it means taking a piece of your liability insurance, I think that there is a risk that that will occur. So that's why I raise these issues. The concept of disability has broad implications. From my perspective, I get called in typically at the end of the day, and understandably so. I think it's a necessary result of the system. You've spent years litigating a case. You've concentrated on all of the things that have come before me in today's program and all of the things that you're going to hear about for the balance of the afternoon. This stuff is not on your radar screen, and I can't say that it fairly should be on your radar screen. What concerns me is that at some point you might be held liable to know more about it than you're typically inclined to do. And certainly the earlier that somebody who does what I do can get involved in a case where you see money on the table, we can begin to do things like audit household benefits, look at the implications of how you take money and what it will mean for access to services in the future. I think that there is ultimately a direct line between the two.